Man, I'm built different, period. I'm just built different, man. And I've always had an eye, discipline, and a work ethic that I've had at a young age that I just apply it there.
Have you ever felt that knowing feeling in your gut, telling you it's time for a change? That little voice whispering, "This isn't it anymore?" Today, I want to tell you a story about a man who listened to that voice. A man who walked away at the absolute perfect moment. His name was Arthur, and he wasn't a CEO or a celebrity. He was a librarian, a man who found joy in the quiet rustle of turning pages and the scent of old books. For 20 years, his library was his kingdom. He knew every book, every regular visitor, and every creaky floorboard. It was a good life, a comfortable one. But slowly, things started to change. The city council began cutting budgets. The familiar quiet was replaced by the constant buzz of mandated computer labs. Books he had lovingly cared for were being boxed up, replaced by e-readers that felt cold and impersonal to him. The joy was fading, replaced by a quiet sense of loss. His colleagues told him to just hang on. Sticking it out meant financial security, a reward for his decades of service. Leaving meant uncertainty, risk, and stepping into the unknown. He was in his late 50s. Who starts over at that age? Every rational thought told him to stay put, to endure the changes, and to collect his reward at the end. But that feeling, that whisper in his soul, grew louder every day. He saw the future of his beloved library, and it was a future he didn't belong in. The magic was gone. One sunny Tuesday morning, Arthur looked around at the buzzing computer screens and the empty shelves where his favorite classics used to be. He took a deep breath, walked into his manager's office, and handed in his resignation. He walked away from his pension, his security, and the only career he had ever known. His friends and family were shocked. They thought he'd lost his mind. "What will you do?" Arthur's answer was simple. "I don't know yet." For the first time in 20 years, he woke up without a schedule. He started taking long walks, rediscovering his city not as a commuter, but as an explorer. He visited small, independent bookstores, a kind that smelled like his old library. One day, in a dusty corner of one of these shops, he found a first edition of his favorite childhood book. He struck up a conversation with the owner, an elderly man who was thinking about retiring himself. They talked for hours about books, about the magic of physical pages, and about the changing world. A spark ignited in Arthur. He used a small portion of his savings, not to buy a fancy car or go on a lavish vacation, but to make an offer. He bought the little bookstore. It wasn't easy. He worked longer hours than he ever had at the library, but this work felt different. It was his. He curated the shelves with books he loved. He started a story time for local kids and a book club for adults. The little shop became a community hub, a sanctuary for book lovers, a place filled with the same magic he thought he had lost forever. He wasn't just a bookseller. He was the heart of a community. About a year after he left his old job, news broke that the city library was being completely restructured. Most of his former colleagues were laid off. The building was sold to a tech company, and the books were all digitized and moved to a central, soulless server. Had he stayed, he would have been forced out, left with a fraction of his expected pension and a heart full of regret. Arthur, on the other hand, was happier than he had ever been. He wasn't rich, but he was fulfilled. He had followed his intuition, even when it seemed illogical. He walked away not from something, but toward something. He chose purpose over a pension, passion over a paycheck. Arthur's story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the bravest, smartest move isn't to hold on tighter, but to let go. It's about trusting that quiet voice inside you. That is the art of walking away at the perfect moment. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more. End of transmission. Reality will now resume.
Man, I'm built different, period. I'm just built different, man. And I've always had an eye, discipline, and a work ethic that I've had at a young age that I just kind of